Last summer, I finally let my friends peer pressure me into downloading some dating apps. Pretty much right away, I started to get some messages that seemed a little out of the ordinary. For example, there was one man that messaged me who I had never met before, who said he was an African prince, and a doctor, and an entrepreneur, and he wanted to fly me to Africa and buy me all these things and take care of me. I thought about it. Seemed a little bit too good to be true. So I deleted the message and blocked him. These messages have kind of become a sort of inside joke for our generation. Pretty much everyone has gotten one at one point. However, there are some people that don't know how to respond to these messages or feed into them. Luckily, there are some ways to make yourself less vulnerable and things to look out for when on dating apps. Before we get into that, there are some positives about dating apps. For example, a study conducted at Cornell University and published by Philip Hergovich and Jose Ortega investigated what happened to a society once online dating was introduced. They found that, quote, online dating is currently the second most popular way for Americans to meet a spouse, end quote. We are, as a society, more likely to marry a friend of a friend than a best friend. So online dating really opens up the pool for us. They also found that, quote, online dating has increased marriage rates by 33%, end quote. Generally, this is a good thing. It boosts the economy, it just all around makes society a better place. They also found that, quote, the expected number of interracial marriages exponentially grew once online dating was introduced to a society, end quote. Again, interracial marriages are generally very good for society. They boost diversity, they boost the economy, everything like that. Now, with all these great things about online dating, there are definitely pitfalls and red flags that people should be aware of and look out for when they're scrolling or swiping. Generally, trust your gut. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. There are about everywhere you look has a different number, but generally there are 4 red flags that you should really look out for. If someone that you're talking to wants to only communicate outside of an app or a website that you're using, generally a red flag. It means they have something to hide. These apps and websites, the dating apps and websites, they have built-in protection systems for people using them, and they can quickly find scammers or predators with these systems. So people that don't want to use the site right after they meet you or only want to communicate through text or email, something to watch out for. Another red flag is age differences. These people are usually called romantic scammers or predators, and they prey on vulnerable populations. So people that are in the older populations or people that are in the very, very young populations are people that they prey on. So just watch out for age differences. Also watch out for people who display great wealth on their profiles. So pictures of them with super expensive sports cars or wearing Gucci or incredibly expensive jewelry. These are usually people that have something to hide. So they're presenting a front like they have all this money. And then the 4th red flag, that is the one that I've experienced the most personally, is people that communicate with very bad grammar and sentence structure. So when you encounter people like this, if you do engage them, try to ask them as many questions as possible to find them in a lie. It'll make you feel better if you do have to engage with this situation. So again, generally, trust your gut with these types of things. Another thing that is the most common thing that people think about with dating apps are profiles and how people lie on their profiles and catfish, and nobody really looks like they do online. Generally, a person's tendency to do this, to present an idealized version of themselves, is very common. There was a study conducted by the University of Berkeley, and the author Andrew Fiore wrote a paper on it. He said that, quote, 81% of online dating users in the sample that he had lied about their weight, age, or height. So a lot of people do it, don't worry. He also found that there are a ton of different reasons that people lie on dating profiles. So keep that in mind when you're scrolling. If someone looks, again, a little bit too good to be true, just take it with a grain of salt. Because everyone's trying to beat out everybody else on these dating apps. They want to get the best looking person, the one with the best personality, the one who's funniest. So everybody's trying to present that version of themselves. Just keep that in mind when you're scrolling. So in conclusion, today I've informed you about some of the dangers of online dating. We started out with why online dating has become so popular so quickly. We went into some red flags about online dating, and we ended with the profiles of the people who use online dating sites and apps. So just remember that a picture of a puppy and a cheesy pickup line doesn't automatically make that person a good person. Just take care of yourself and protect yourself as much as you can, and enjoy your scrolling.